Hello friends, I welcome you in lecture number 6 on beta and gamma functions. In this lecture we will discuss Euler's formula and we will discuss some more examples on beta and gamma functions. So first we understand what is Euler's formula. So Euler's formula is nothing but if we have positive real number between 0 and 1, that is if n is a positive real number which is in between 0 and 1, then gamma function of n into gamma function of 1 minus n equal to pi divided by sin n pi. So because here n is greater than 0, n is positive, therefore there is no possibility of n equal to 0. So this is meaningful. This sin n pi will never be 0 for values of n in between 0 and 1. So this formula is known as Euler's formula, and it gives us the value of this product gamma n into gamma 1 minus n is given by pi divided by sin n pi. But this is applicable if 0 less than n less than 1. So using Euler's formula we can prove that gamma 1 by 2 is nothing but square root of pi. So if we want to prove that gamma 1 by 2 is square root of pi using Euler's formula, then we can see gamma 1 by 2 means we have to consider n equal to 1 by 2, and 1 by 2 is in between 0 and 1, so we can take n equal to 1 by 2 in Euler's formula. So first we have written Euler's formula, and taking n equal to 1 by 2 in Euler's formula, we obtain for n equal to 1 by 2 we have gamma 1 by 2, gamma 1 minus 1 by 2 equal to pi divided by sin pi by 2, and this is nothing but gamma 1 by 2 and gamma 1 minus 1 by 2, that is gamma 1 by 2 equal to pi, because sin pi by 2 is 1. So therefore square of gamma 1 by 2 is pi, and therefore gamma 1 by 2 is square root of pi. So we can prove that gamma 1 by 2 is nothing but square root of pi using Euler's formula also. Using Euler's formula we can find out this type of product of gamma functions at particular values of n. Here we are asked to find out gamma 1 by 4 into gamma 3 by 4. So here also we can apply that Euler's formula, gamma n into gamma 1 minus n equal to pi divided by sin n pi. So if we want to find out this gamma 1 by 4 into gamma 3 by 4 using Euler's formula, we can see we have to consider n equal to 1 by 4 in Euler's formula. So this is Euler's formula, and we are taking n equal to 1 by 4 in this formula. So we have gamma 1 by 4 into gamma 1 minus 1 by 4 equal to pi divided by sin pi by 4, and this is nothing but gamma 3 by 4. Sin pi by 4 has value 1 over root 2, so this becomes pi into root 2. So therefore gamma 1 by 4 into gamma 3 by 4 is equal to pi into square root of 2. This is one more example. We are asked to evaluate this integral square root of tan theta over the interval 0 to pi by 2. So to find out value of this integral, we can recall that formula. We know the formula for this type of integrals: 0 to pi by 2 sin raised to p theta cos raised to q theta d theta. So first we convert our integral in powers of sine and cosine. So first we replace tan theta by sin theta by cos theta, and this we can rewrite as sin raised to 1/2 theta divided by cos raised to 1/2 theta. that is nothing but sin raised to 1 by 2 theta into cos raised to minus 1 by 2 theta, and we use this formula. So if we compare, we have P equal to 1 by 2, Q equal to minus 1 by 2, and the value of this integral is given by gamma P plus 1 by 2 into gamma Q plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times gamma P plus Q plus 2 divided by 2. So here if we observe, P is 1 by 2 and Q is minus 1 by 2. So we put P equal to 1 by 2, Q equal to minus 1 by 2 in this formula, and we obtain that gamma 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 gamma minus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 divided by 2 times P equal to 1 by 2 plus Q, which is minus 1 by 2 plus 2 divided by 2. Now here 1 by 2 plus 1 is 3 by 2 divided by 2, so it is gamma 3 by 4. Here 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2 divided by 2, which is gamma 1 by 4 divided by 2 into gamma 1, and gamma 1 is 1, and this product we have find out this product in previous problem by Euler's formula. It is nothing but pi into root 2, as we find out in the previous formula, and here this 2 can be written as square of root 2, so 1 root 2 will cancel out and we obtain pi divided by root 2. So therefore 0 to pi by 2 square root of tan theta d theta equal to pi over root 2. So in this way we can use Euler's formula in doing some problems of integrals. We consider one more example. We are asked to evaluate integral from 0 to 2 x times 8 minus x cube raised to 1 by 3. So here we can use beta function to find out value of this integral. Now by the definition, beta function is given by beta mn equal to 0 to 1 y raised to m minus 1 1 minus y raised to n minus 1 dy. So here limits must be from 0 to 1, and we must have 1 minus something raised to n minus 1. So here from this we can have the idea that we should have this type of term 8 minus x cube. Instead of x cube we must have some another variable, say y. So if I consider x cube equal to y, then I will have 8 minus y, but I require 1 minus y raised to n minus 1. So this suggests me to consider x cube equal to 8y. So if I take x cube equal to 8y, then 8 will be common and I will have 1 minus y. So from this we can have the idea about proper substitution or idea about how we have to change the variable. So in given integral we consider this change of variable. We take x cube equal to 8y, then x is nothing but 8y raised to 1 by 3. Now this is equal to 8 raised to 1 by 3 into y raised to 1 by 3, and cube root of 8 is 2 and y raised to 1 by 3 as it is. So therefore dx by dy is 2 constant. Derivative of y raised to 1 by 3 is 1 by 3 times y raised to 1 by 3 minus 1. So this is 2 by 3 y raised to minus 2 by 3, and this dy we are taking on right hand side. So we will replace dx by 2 by 3 y raised to minus 2 by 3 dy. Also we have to find out limits of new variable y corresponding to limits of x. So from this we can have limits of y. If x is 0, we have 8y equal to 0. That gives us y equal to 0. So when x is 0, 8y is 0. That implies y equal to 0. And similarly when x is 2, we have x cube equal to 8y. So when x is 2, we have 8y equal to 8, and this gives us y equal to 1. So limits of new variable y are from 0 to 1. So therefore this integral is converted in terms of new variable y. Limits of y are from 0 to 1. Here we have x. So x is replaced by 2 into y raised to 1 by 3. And in the product we have 8 minus x cube raised to 1 by 3. And x cube is replaced by 8y. So we have 8 minus 8y raised to 1 by 3. And dx is replaced by this 2 by 3 y raised to minus 2 by 3 dy. And if we observe this 2 into 2 by 3, that is 4 by 3 is constant, so that we can take outside, and y raised to 1 by 3 into y raised to minus 2 by 3 can be written as y raised to 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3. In this term we can take 8 common, so we will have 8 into 1 minus y, and in the power we have 1 by 3, so we will have 8 raised to 1 by 3 into 1 minus y raised to 1 by 3. Now this is nothing but cube root of 8, which is 2. This will be 1 minus 2, that is minus 1 divided by 3. So we have 0 to 1 y raised to minus 1 by 3 cube root of 8, which is 2, into 1 minus y raised to 1 by 3 dy. And we can take these two outside integral being constant, so it will multiply with 4 by 3, and we will have 8 by 3 times integral 0 to 1 y raised to minus 1 by 3 and into 1 minus y raised to 1 by 3 dy. Now if we compare this with integral of beta function is given by integral 0 to 1 y raised to m minus 1 minus y raised to n minus 1 dy. So if we compare powers of y and 1 minus y, we have m minus 1 equal to minus 1 by 3 and n minus 1 equal to 1 by 3. So therefore m is nothing but 1 minus 1 by 3, which is 2 by 3, and n equal to 1 plus 1 by 3, which is 4 by 3. So this is nothing but beta mn, and with m equal to 1 by 3, n equal to 4 by 3. So here we replace this by beta function of 2 by 3 comma 4 by 3, and we have written the reason here also. Now using the relationship between beta and gamma function, we can write beta 2 by 3 comma 4 by 3 equal to gamma 2 by 3 into gamma 4 by 3 divided by gamma 2 by 3 plus 4 by 3. Here 2 by 3 is less than 1, so we keep it as it is. 4 by 3 can be written as gamma 1 by 3 plus 1, and here we will have 2 plus 4, that is 6 divided by 3, which is 2. Now gamma 2 is 1 factorial. Using the property, if we have gamma n plus 1, we have n factorial if n is natural number. So gamma 2 is 1 plus 1, that is 1 factorial. And using the property of gamma function, we have gamma n plus 1 is n gamma n. So gamma 1 by 3 plus 1 is 1 by 3 gamma 1 by 3. So finally we multiply 8 by 3 and 1 by 3, that is 8 by 9, and we have gamma 1 by 3 into gamma 2 by 3. So now to find out value of this product, we can use Euler's formula. By Euler's formula, we have gamma n into gamma 1 minus n equal to pi divided by sin n pi, where n is in between 0 and 1. So if we require value of this product, we take n equal to 1 by 3. So when we take n equal to 1 by 3, okay, before that we are writing this 2 by 3 as 1 minus 1 by 3, and then we use this formula. So if we compare gamma 1 by 3 into gamma 1 minus 1 by 3 with gamma n into gamma 1 minus n, we get the idea that we have to take n equal to 1 by 3 in this formula. So taking n equal to 1 by 3, we have pi divided by sin pi by 3, and sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2, and if we take this root 3 by 2 in the denominator, we have 2 divided by root 3, so that is 2 pi divided by root 3 into 8 by 9. So we have 8 into 2, 16 pi divided by 9 root 3. So in this way we can use beta and gamma functions to find out value of certain integrals like this. We consider one more example. We want to evaluate this integral 0 to 1 x square 1 minus x cube in the square root. So we can rewrite given integral as x square into 1 minus x cube raised to minus 1 by 2. And if we compare with beta function is given by 0 to 1 y raised to m minus 1 1 minus y raised to n minus 1 dy. So here from this we have the idea that we must have x cube equal to y, or from this we get the idea that which substitution we have to select. So we consider this substitution for changing the variable from x to new variable y. So we let x cube equal to y, then x is y raised to 1 by 3, therefore derivative of x with respect to y is 1 by 3 y raised to 1 by 3 minus 1, that is 1 by 3 y raised to minus 2 by 3. So therefore dx is replaced by 1 by 3 times y raised to minus 2 by 3 dy. Limits of x are from 0 to 1. So when x is 0, y is 0, and when x is 1, y is 1, because y equal to x cube. So for x equal to 0, y is 0. For x equal to 1, y is 1. So limits of y are from 0 to 1. And here we have x square. So x is y raised to 1 by 3. So x square is y raised to 2 by 3. In the product we have 1 minus x cube raised to minus 1 by t. So x cube is y. So we have 1 minus y raised to minus 1 by 2. And dx is given by 1 by 3 y raised to minus 2 by 3 dy. Now if we combine these two, we have y raised to 2 by 3 minus 2 by 3, that is y raised to 0, into 1 minus y raised to minus 1 by 2, and we will take this constant 1 by 3 outside integral. Now we can rewrite y raised to 0, or we can write 0 as 1 minus 1, and we can rewrite minus 1 by 2 as 1 by 2 minus 1. So y raised to 0 is written as y raised to 1 minus 1. 1 minus y raised to minus 1 by 2 is written as 1 by 2 minus 1. And if we compare with beta function, if we compare this with this integral, we have m equal to 1 and n equal to 1 by 2. So this is nothing but beta mn. So here m is 1, n is 1 by 2. So we have beta 1 comma 1 by 2. And using the relationship between beta and gamma function, beta mn is given by gamma m gamma n over gamma m plus n. So here m equal to 1, n equal to 1 by 2. So we have gamma 1 by 2 divided by gamma 1 by 2 plus 1. Gamma 1 by 2 is under root pi, and this is 1 by 2 times gamma 1 by 2. Okay, we are using this formula. Gamma n plus 1 is n gamma n. So we use this formula for n equal to 1 by 2. So we have 1 by 2 gamma 1 by 2. We keep this gamma 1 by 2 as it is, so that we can cancel out these two. So finally we have 1 by 3 into 1 over 1 by 2, that is 2. So value of given integral is 2 by 3. So using beta and gamma functions we are able to evaluate certain types of integrals. Here we obtain that value of this integral is 2 by 3 using beta and gamma function with their properties. So this is all about today's session. In this session we have discussed Euler's formula and we have discussed some more examples related to beta and gamma functions. So I hope you like this lecture. Thank you very much.